Welcome back to Big Game Hunting. This is episode 2, and we're back at the Wentzville Flea Market. As you can see, I'm just getting to the flea market now. These guys here that we're walking by always have a lot of toys, occasionally games. I bought a few games off of them here and there. He's actually already set up, and the guy next to him here is still setting up. So the flea market's kind of dead today. I don't know why. It's just I think there was a threat of rain. I think it actually did rain a little bit later. So didn't see a whole lot, but I'm going to keep going through here and you guys can see a little bit of what I saw. Alright, you guys are going to recognize a seller if you watched last week's video. This is the same seller I said rarely has games. He has a large table out today. He had a batch of CDs out here. Always check CD bins because occasionally a PS1 game is going to slip in. And as you can see to the left there, he did not have any games today. Alright, right here is the reseller number 1 at the market. You'll see him to the left. I'll stop by his booth occasionally just to see how horrible his prices are, but I tend to avoid him. I do know he goes around and buys out all the good stuff if he can find it in the morning before the flea market really gets started. So that's your worst reseller at the market. You don't want to deal with them. I hate to even look at his stuff, but I have to laugh at some of the prices that he has on his stuff. So I just continued past, walking on down through here. I've never bought something from that guy, and I don't intend to start now. Alright, walking into this booth, I see another guy that I recognize who buys a lot of games out here. The guy in the black shirt there, I don't know him personally, but I know he's always out here buying games. I don't know what he's doing with them, but I do believe he's probably reselling some of them. There's a bucket of Wii Games here. There's not particularly anything that great in there. Just kind of look through it. There's some decent games in there, but nothing I absolutely have to have. So I don't end up buying anything here. Look around a little bit more. There's a stack of loose discs there, and I don't typically buy loose discs, but I do look through them just in case, you run across maybe something good sooner or later, and I didn't do a very good job of camera work there. He also had some of these things. If you see, these are like these little pocket handhelds. They're not old or anything, but you could get a decent price for them online from what I've seen, but I didn't buy any of them because I don't have any use for them, and I'm not going to sell them because that's just a waste of my time, really, for the minimal profit I probably would have made. He also had some video game t-shirts there, which is kind of weird. Alright, here to the right, you'll see a vendor. It's got a couple of PS2s. There were no games or anything. I didn't even ask how much they were because, for one thing, I don't need a PS2. And I've seen this vendor before, and I think he often thinks he has some gold when it comes to PS2s and things like that. Straight across, going back to a vendor you guys saw last time. They usually have PS2 games, like I've told you before. Looking through here, they have a lot of random stuff in the booth. DVDs, but they do end up having some PS2 games. I'll take a look at them. Nothing I needed again, but I always check just in case they're going to have something good. Like I said, I had gotten Mr. Mosquito from them at some point for $2, so I have to always check. As you can see, they have some other games mixed in. There's Fable 3, which I don't recommend, but alright, after running by a ton of empty space and some random booths here, I've come up to another seller. You've seen them before. The story is the same again this week. They don't have that much stock out this time. Probably the threat of rain's throwing that off. A lot of the newer stuff, nothing worth having, unfortunately, this time, and I probably wouldn't have liked the price even if there was. After another long walk through a lot of empty space, I come upon this booth. As you can see there, some PS1 titles. It was all sports titles. Obviously not interested in those. Probably have most of them already anyway. So that long walk for like 5 or 6 PS1 sports titles, not particularly worth it. Okay, and now we got another booth, has random stuff in it, but they have a stack of PS1 games again. And it is unfortunately more sports titles and a lot of stuff that's not worth having on DS. There's the PS2, I think, game or something back there. Yeah, so didn't pick anything up here. That's a theme for the day, pretty much. Not a lot to be found so far out at the flea market. And of course, another copy of Halo Reach. That's becoming a theme as well in these videos. So, yeah, if you need Halo Reach, go to a flea market, clearly. Also, looking through a bin here, and I pull out a Wiimote. Probably could have got it cheap, but unfortunately it's just a regular Wiimote. Doesn't have Motion Plus, so it doesn't really help you out if you're playing on Wii U at this point like I am. And another bin in this booth with stuff in it. PS1 title, Cool Borders 3. Don't need it, put it back, no big deal. This is just a booth full of random stuff. It's really weird. I did search through the bins, looked in them. Just random stuff in these bins. And that's what you get at the flea market sometimes. So, you know, it's worth it to search through them, though, just to be sure there's nothing worth it in there. And one more random bin to search through here. Full of wires. There's an Xbox 360 video cable, I believe. I always look through these bins because you never know what you're going to find. And also, you're looking for the elusive GameCube HD cable or composite cable, whatever it is. There's a Wiimote nunchuck. Didn't get that. Don't really need it. Hard drive. Thought about that one, but those things fail quite often, and it's been in a box, probably in storage somewhere, so probably not worth the money. But yeah, so more of a box and more of nothing that I bought. Alright, here at another booth, and he has a G.I. Joe vehicle. I'm drawing a blank on what that one's called. I'm sure some of you will know. It was in pretty good shape. There were a couple other vehicles that I don't think were G.I. Joe there. There were some guys. I'm not really into G.I. Joe collecting. I just thought they were kind of cool. I used to collect them when I was a kid. Well, used to get them and play with them when I was a kid. But I don't now, so I did pass on that. Alright, so I'm here in a booth. I'm just seeing more newer stuff. Some Wii games here. I looked through them. Nothing special. Mostly shovelware titles. So I, of course, did pass on those. I don't buy Wii that often. Alright, and here's another vendor. I don't think he was in last week's video, but he usually has a lot of newer stuff, a few DVDs, some newer games. Most of it's shovelware stuff, nothing good. And a lot of it's been sitting out in the sun, which you'll have a problem with at flea markets. You'll have water damage or sun bleaching to the titles. But I didn't buy anything yet again, which is, like I said, the theme for the day. Alright, and here we are at the reseller I mentioned earlier. I'm stopping in here to check out what he's got. As you can see, they're all in like these little banker boxes, little like cardboard boxes. His prices are all on top. You're not going to be able to see the prices. They're all like direct eBay pricing pretty much. Occasionally you might be able to find him slipping, but not that often. He has a large amount of stock, probably from yard sailing and going around this flea market and buying everything up. I don't know how he gets his stock, but I know this is his expensive case. The great games in there. I really wish I could buy some of them, but his prices are crazy high, normal retail pricing at a flea market. It doesn't work for me. I never buy from him. I'm moving along. Pat the NES Punk has Wario. Well, this guy's Waluigi. All right, last week I told you about this vendor inside here at the flea market that has crazy prices. Well, here I am. She doesn't seem to be sitting here, but let's see if I can show you some of these prices. All right, that's Operation Wolf, $40. That would I can't remember what that is, but these prices, Operation Wolf for $40 is insane. It's like a $2, $4 game. All the games are pretty much priced that way. It's crazy. All the NES games are at least $20. It's some stuff like Rad Racer, Operation Wolf, just very, very common NES games priced this way. It's craziness. All right, coming up to the booth. I believe this guy's name is Paul, is what I've been told. Like I said before, he has a bunch of games and he puts out random stuff every week, so I always check out his stuff. There were some NES, Super NES games there. He's not quite set up yet. I come back later. He doesn't actually have anything good out. Most of the stuff he had out I already had, so I did not end up getting anything from him, but I certainly do like him. He's easy to deal with, so I always stop by his booth. Alright, and just across from his booth, there is a booth. As you can see, there's a GameCube there, Platinum GameCube. I already have GameCubes. I didn't need another GameCube, that's for sure. Didn't see any games or anything really with it, so it wasn't anything worth having there. But, you know, at least I saw games, because it's not been a great day. Alright, here we are at a toy vendor. He obviously has a lot of random stuff. I always kind of browse through his booth. I bought a Game Boy printer off him one time, so he randomly will have video game stuff here and there. I'm going to walk back here, and as you can see, there's a big bucket full of just random toys. There's a couple of He-Man guys in there. I actually almost bought one, but I have no room to collect action figures and things like that. So I didn't end up buying it, but it's kind of cool to see toys that I had when I was a kid, but I just don't have the room to buy toys with the video game collecting. There's the He-Man guy that I was talking about. It's the guy that changed faces. I can't remember his name. But it's pretty cool to see that stuff. There's a Troll doll in there. And don't need that, that's for sure. I need that game, Trolls in Crazyland. And here is the absolute worst seller at the flea market. He's horrible. He's just awful. No, I'm kidding. This is Chris Fallon, my buddy. He's a good dude, and I know he watches my videos, so I'm just messing with him. Definitely need to check out, if you ever get out there, check out Chris's booth. He doesn't have a lot I need, because I've been to his booth like thousands of times now, it seems like. And he's come to my house. He's been to meetups at the St. Louis Retro Gamers at my house. So I bought a lot of what I need off him already. But I always check out his booth. He gets new stuff all the time. He's a good guy. Usually will cut you deals. So I would definitely recommend you check him out if you're out at the flea market. Obviously, I'm standing there talking to him, not doing shopping really. But definitely check out his booth if you're there. Alright, so I've talked to Chris Fallon for a bit. Now I'm going to walk over and look at a little bit of his stock, make sure he's got nothing in that I need. It does happen occasionally. The NES games, though, a lot of the times he doesn't have anything I need because I have so many. But this is going to do it for another episode of Big Game Hunting. I'd like to thank you all for watching. And please like, comment, subscribe. Let me know if my camera work was a little bit better this time. I think it was. And we will see you next time. Hopefully a pickup video will be coming soon.